Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Sunday, August 9th, 2026. So what we're going to do is go through the higher time frame monthly and the weekly here for the public on SPX. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start making a longer style video. I know there's a lot of people out there that are willing to watch and learn and look at some more in-depth videos. So I'll keep the public video short and sweet on SPX and make sure that we're on the right track of where the main market's going. And then what I'll do, this is the weekly version, and then what I'll do on a daily basis is SPX and VIX for public. And the rest of the video, I'll split them into two videos, but the rest of the video will be offered to members, and we'll do the daily and 65-minute on those. And for those members also that are already with me, we go through the 2 hour as well, so that we'll have all of that kind of bundled in one, and they're going to be longer length videos. So I do recommend that you play it at 1.5 speed. I'm not going to rush here. I want to make sure that I cover everything, and that therefore you can speed it up yourself on the YouTube settings down to your right-hand corner on the bottom, the little gear. And so we're going to go through and I'll update this as we go since I'm just now changing it, but we'll go through NDX today. We'll do what else? We'll do MJ since somebody requested that. We'll keep this on the list, and we might expand this list or so. And then individual names we can do by request, or if there's a setup, something in particular, if it matters to what the rest of the indices doing. Or, if it has weight on where the market might go, like the big tech names, for example. Okay, so, but for today, NDX, MJ, we'll do Bitcoin, and that's for the members portion. And then we'll add on more if we see fit here. And, we should constantly do SMH as well, because it's the tail that wags the dog right now. Okay, so let's jump into it. We have SPX on the monthly time frame, and if you've joined me before, you know that I'm looking for a top. Now, we did get a nice big pop here from some sort of triangle, some sort of consolidation. We got a pop back up to the top of the wedge. So I want to emphasize, I redrew this. On the lower time frames, you'll notice that I have an ending expanding diagonal here. But on the higher time frame, you can respect the wicks and the bodies of the candles on the monthly, and you see that big wick there, it recovered really quick. So this trend line is very valid. And so this creates a very large bearish rising wedge. And this wedge is the probability of it is to break down. And at some point, I think this will create a recession. Now, somebody asked me on YouTube, on the comments, do I think this is going to be a larger recession, more like 1929, where we have a huge move? Well, I do think we're going to get a large move. But the big question is, do we go sideways at this time? Or do we have our very large move and then we build up a base and just start heading higher? That's the big question that nobody really knows. I do think that according to our cycles, and if you stick around for that, that'll be in the members portion. By the way, it's only $10 a month at this point, and it comes with the Discord as well. And we're going to talk about cycles and to see if that is going to be, there's a possibility that it's a much larger correction than we typically have. And your typical would be something similar to these 40-50% breakdowns. So I do think that's the case, where we're going to get a larger recession, but how it happens, nobody really knows. If you go back, here are some of your major ones, and I'll close this up. I might open it back up just to talk about some of those subjects. But you have your 1929 crash. You formed an ascending triangle, and you continue to go higher. But you can see that there was a major crash, and then after that, you kind of just went up there, not in a straight line, but you just kind of went up. You could say it triangulated right here. But in we'll call it 70, it's a much larger range. We had basically a diamond type shape that formed where you had large moves to the downside. That's 23%, just that little move right there. And you can highlight this one, a 42%. So you had a bear market, a bull market, bear market, bull market. Is that what we do this time? Very good. And they call it the lost decade. That very much could be the same case. So we don't know. This technically was sideways. It was a flat pattern, technically sideways for 13, 15 years or so in this pattern as well. All right. So there's different ways you can look at it. Is it going to be a massive sharp move and then it takes many years to recover? Or is it going to be more sideways? Made a new high, made a new low, that sort of thing. Okay. We don't have those specific answers. We do have levels that we'll look for the market to trade. And I do believe we should have some sort of first wave, whether it's 3 waves or it's 5 waves. That's not the most important part. But we do have particular levels that we'll look at for this recession to end at each point as we look at our indicators. So I know that I just did a video on the weekly time frame for SPX, but let's look at some of the monthly views here. So if we're diving into our wedge, we have the top of the wedge coming in right now. We have an 8 EMA. That's our momentum indicator. It's still up. And notice where this wedge bottom is. It lines up directly with our 20 moving average. That's not a coincidence. When you have a trend like that, that's our trend indicator. So they match up well with that wedge bottom also. Okay, so momentum's up, trend is up. No indication that we are bearish, but what we have to look at this point is our warning signs that we have a reversal imminent. So if we just pull out just a little bit more, you can see these divergences that form and form and form, and you get some lower. Oh, hold on, my son's shooting pucks. One sec. I love that he loves to practice often, so you can't hate on that. So we have our negative divergences here. We've been up in the 50 percentile area. No denying that this is a bull market. But the thing is over time, we have these divergences and you see that they play out, and I can add all of them in here. So what happens in the near term is you have your divergence and then you have a large correction. You say you came down to the 50 line. Okay. Then you build yourself back up and you continue, and then you get a near term divergence there. All right, you had a correction that was some considered a bear market, back to that 50 line. Now you have the market climbing back up, and you can almost draw that megaphone that we have on the lower time frames right here. But the problem is this megaphone's growing, and you're making new highs until now. In this very, very recent price action here, you had a peak, and now you're making a lower high. Okay. Now I don't know if this very specifically we could look into there. That's 75.38, and we're currently at 75.63. So we definitely made a little incremental high right here, but we still have a divergence that formed from peak to peak. And then on the lower time frames, I showed you there on the weekly time frame, we had that lower high right here. So things are building up on the lower time frames all the way up to the to the monthly, and that's what's giving us our signs that the cracks in the market are starting to build. Okay, you could start to get a crossover here. I don't have it yet, and there's no sell signal yet, which would be the past the 80 line. All right, so we're looking at a divergence built from this peak to this peak. Now, price did go a little bit higher. We're saying 164, and it's currently at 170. So you don't have a near-term divergence, but you still have this negative divergence here. So do you need that? That's possible. And we talked about that scenario where we could go down, test the trend line one more time, and get one more high after that. That's still possible. We do have the divergence here on the histogram. In other words, we are seeing momentum wane. We're starting to see these lines gather much closer here, less momentum to the upside. That's all you need. You don't have to get these divergences such as this one at this point right here. But you have to point it out. When that happens, you get the correction. We're up in well overbought territories in the upper boundary of the MACD. That's a sign itself. And again, at any point here, you don't have, for example, this correction had the negative divergence in the RSI and the slow stochastic, but not in the MACD. Okay, just in extreme areas. And that's good enough, but we don't know. These are just indicators to say caution is building. Okay, so on the monthly time frame, we have our Bollinger Band. And again, in this near term, we have the divergence. We're not into the band. We could, if you look on the right, it's 79.30. I don't know if we're going to get to that point, especially with these the wedge top being here. But that certainly is a cautious sign, but it's not a sell setup for this setup. A lot of people use this actual setup right here to go to, and you wouldn't be getting short until you hit that boundary there. Okay, we have the DMARC. See if there's a setup here. We have a 5 count. We have the 13 count exhaustion. Very similar to the 9 count right here. You see price heading higher, made a new high. This is a little bit different. This is closer to the peak that happened in 2021, where you made a new high here. And they look similar on the monthly time frames, not too far off. So you have an incremental high into your resistance zone, and we could draw those. They're on the lower time frame where you have resistance here as well. And what price has to do is, you see you got the signal, and then it went up higher and then reversed. Okay, sometimes you get near or at the peak. Sometimes it goes higher before reversing, but this is still a caution sign there on the higher time frames. All right, so kind of same thing when you have this this box. We'll draw this box here. We had a consolidation, and so far we're above it. So is there any proof of a reversal at this point? No, absolutely not. If it gets back into this and or breaks down from this area, now you have a false break and you have some price action that should probably happen pretty fast. I don't know if it'll happen as fast as this tariff crash, but that would be the case. This month isn't over. It's really right here in the beginning of it, getting near the center. So we have plenty of time to see what this monthly candle does. All right. And so back on that weekly time frame that we were looking at yesterday, there you go. We're into that resistance if you draw it from that point. I know that a lot of people are drawing it from this point as well, and that's okay. These trend lines are used in multiple different ways. So you can draw this point too. And if this is the case, if you draw it from that peak, and if you didn't see yesterday's video, you just draw it from that peak, you still have a little bit of room. If you draw it from that peak, we're at it, a little above it. So there's multiple ways to do it. But in this higher time frame, I want to make sure I catch from way back here in 2022. and it's a valid trend line because you have the 2 touches here, third, and we're looking for this touch, which it seems as if we touched it here. So coming into this week, if I had to guess, you probably get like a little spike, a little wick above, and you could see some sort of reversal. Now, if there's a harsh reversal, great. That's what we've been looking for. But we have to be prepared for the weekly time frame to get a nothing burger that gets a doji and a pause candle before actually getting a reversal there. So many things can happen. You see this back here, you had a weekly candle that gave us a little bit of a reversal there, and then you started. So, it took time off the clock before actually reversing. On this on this time frame, it looks, pretty quick. But when you're trading during the day and it's doing nothing for 5 trading days, it seems like it's taking forever. So something to keep in mind if you're shorting the market at this point. But there's only signs of a reversal. There is not confirmation. And this is what we talked about yesterday. We didn't use the same board here. So here's the megaphone. I saw that comment. Where's that megaphone that you have there? And I don't think you're actually talking about this one. And here's a good way to look at it. There's your negative divergences building up here. And actually further there. But in this near term, that's not what I wanted. In this near term, this is what really counts. And this is what I was talking about. Even though you have these divergences building up over time, in the near term, that's when you're getting these large reversals. So here, this one built up, reverse, built up, and I think it's going to reverse. So the megaphone I think that you are referring to is this expanding ending diagonal. All right, and that's what we focused on over with SPY. And I can jump over there real quick. And then we'll head on to the rest of the video. There's that megaphone we've been looking at for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I thought this would have been the top here, made it to the bottom, and just extreme moves off both ways. Now we're getting into a lot of confluence. This first one made it back down to these Fibonacci's. You see how important they are. Well, you have this Fibonacci range here from this tariff tantrum. And then, everything works as fractals. And then you have this range here from the correction. And we're at that point right now. Then you take this one here, and that's where we're reversing off now. So all of these confluences here, I think with the divergences are going to create that reversal that we have. Now, ultimately, I think that wedge that we looked at on SPX, that's much closer here, is going to break, and that's when you start to get the sell signal. But I do think this is going to play out where we get the actual testing of this low once again, however long it takes, going into October, November, December, whatever. We have some timing that's set up on the cycle.